it's Rebecca with BexxFineArt, and for today's video, you might see this drill and be like, what are we doing with this? Well, we are gonna be doing some awesome spin art. Ooh, it is super easy and it's really fun. I'm not technically labeling this as a kid's craft since we are using a power tool, so adult supervision is required for this, and everybody needs to stay safe when we're doing it. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and look at our supplies. So first, I have a bunch of Sharpies, and regular markers are totally fine. It does need to be markers though, because you don't have to press down very hard at all, and the markers will give you the cleanest lines. Then you need some kind of thick paper or cardstock. So I'm actually using mat board, which is what I suggest you use because it's nice and thick. It really doesn't bend at all. You cannot use copier paper with this because the paper is just gonna flop over when you put it on the drill bit. So it needs to be something that's thick and sturdy. You might want scissors if you want to cut your mat board or cardstock. So you can see I have a nice little stack right here. I'm also going to test this out on paper plates because that's another option if you don't have cardstock or aren't able to get it. So you should have paper plates around. And then of course the drill, and I've already got the drill bit on. I'll just show you what settings I have it on. All right, so let's get started. So first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick out an assortment of colors. I picked some nice Easter colors since we're getting close to Easter. And the first thing you wanna do with this is take the lids off, put them on the back or put them on your table, but this just makes it easy to grab, and that way you don't have to worry about decapping and recapping the markers. So go ahead and take the lids off and put them somewhere. So next, I'm gonna put my drill facing up, and this is better to do with two people. Unfortunately, it's just me at the house right now, and I can't have my dogs helping me. So you'll wanna lay it flat on your surface. Take your mat board or cardstock, try to find the middle of it, and you could technically measure, I'm not going to for this. And you should be able to just poke it through. There we go. All right, so try not to fiddle with it too much because the more that you move it around, the looser the hole becomes, and then it's not going to stay nice and flat as it's spinning. All right, so once you've got this set up, you can go ahead and test to make sure that it spins properly. Make sure that you hold the top part of the drill down as you do this. You can see that it works. So now I'm gonna just decide what colors I wanna use in what order, and I'm gonna press it down. I'm holding it really tight and pushing it into my table to keep it nice and firm. And we're just gonna start spinning.
The shadows while the good girls go home with broken hearts, but I'm
So, interesting thing happened, and I think this happened because I was pushing down too much with the markers, but it actually didn't go all the way around. I actually think it looks really cool though, so I'm not too unhappy about it. But you really want to be very gentle and try not to push down hard at all on your paper. Just really try to barely touch the tip of the marker to it in order to get it to go all the way around like this one. All right, so now I'm gonna try my paper plate. I have my new assortment of Easter colors, and just like I did before, I'm going to decap them so they're ready to grab. And grab my paper plate, try to find the middle. I also think that this one might have a cool texture up at the top, so I'm excited to see what happens. All right, test it to make sure it's spinning properly. And we're good to go.
gonna leave this world for a while.
All right, so I had a little bit of the same issue, not quite as much. It more so happened as I got towards the outer edge of the plate. But you can see that on the inside, I was really being gentle and not pressing down too hard. It's once I got to the outside, I had to be even more gentle, and I think I was pushing down a little bit. But these colors are actually really pretty. And it created kind of an interesting technique on the rim, but it's nothing too awesome in my opinion. So it's really more about this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like from above, and we're gonna do a few more. Here's what it looks like from above. You can see that I have already got my markers decapped. I'm going to try to do a rainbow this time. So same thing, make sure you're really gripping the drill and pushing down to keep it nice and sturdy before you start adding your color. And another thing you can do is if you're not happy with how it looks when you stop it is you can just keep adding more. So I just want to do a black and white one for fun. So I'm going to go back in and add some more darker lines. Last one I'm going to do, I am testing out a big piece of mat board. It's a little bit more challenging because I have to make sure that the board isn't hitting my arm or my tripod. And it's already tilted, I think, because it's a heavier piece of paper since it's bigger, or mat board since it's bigger. So we'll just see what happens with this.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus.
So one thing I found was that as the drill sped up, it actually made the lines go all the way around. So make sure that when you're doing it that the drill is actually going fast because it will increase your chances of making those lines full circle. Alright, so here are my finished pieces. They actually came out way better than I thought they were, and this was also way easier than I thought it was going to be. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. I hope that you found this video interesting and you're about to go have a lot of fun making your own spin art. As usual, please make sure you subscribe and check out my art on my social media at BexxFineArt. See you next time!
All the vampires walking through the valley, move west town, Ventura Boulevard.